And now, what we really need to do here for the next time is we are going to save the search. And let's say this is going to be WordPress new search. Now, this will become very handy for later. So, I have searched the job. Now, if I go back on Upwork, Upwork here lists, by default, lists me all the jobs that are in these categories. Also, what I'm looking, this is only me, I would say. I mean, for me, this works like that. I target like clients from US, Canada, Australia, all English spoken countries because of communication. I would like to communicate with them clearly, and I target those countries. And some extra information. Let's say that I can do this one, okay? If the project is above $500, everything that's above $500 will be 10%. So up to $500, Upwork will get 20%, and from 500 and above, it doesn't matter how big is the project, up to 10,000 is going to take 10%, and after $10,000 is going to drop to 5% on this contract. Now we see here that this is Scott, so we found a name. That's a very good start, because when we write a cover letter, we want to address like it's personal, not hello dear sir, madam. No, we want to be directly to him. We want to address by his name, because that's going to create like a personal relationship with that. Another very important note, let's say that the client wants, give me your 3 best examples or 5 best examples, and you should never put like this here, like all these sites. If he asks for 5, don't go above 5. Here, the most important thing is do not quit. Don't say, I keep applying, but no one is returning my messages. No. If no one is returning your messages, then try to change your method on applying. You have to be more specific when you apply. You need to speak to the client and only to the client.
So first of all, thank you for inviting me, and it was a great pleasure to be here. So I will be talking shortly mostly about my experience when I first started to work for finding freelance jobs. My expertise relies mostly on social content writing, but also in content writing. And I know that when we talk about content writing, it's very difficult because it's a high competitive job, and you have a lot of people that do have native language English, and they do have expertise on knowing how to attract the audience, but also how to reach to the clients. So how do you write it? So I will tell you my personal experience. I had one request from an American company based in Texas. So they asked me to write a Hawaii vacation, which was a well-paid job. But to be honest, I was sitting here in Kosovo in my room, and it was winter. So I had to write about Hawaii, which I never visited, even imagined to go there. And one of the tricks that I learned while writing this, if I can say blog, was that you cannot always trust people what they write about the top 5 beaches on Hawaii, because they do take the experience from the trip adversary, which you can use for writing. So it was really interesting to see how people can, we can say, take information and dwell very good in the writing skills. Then what mostly I focus on writing about articles. And when we compare, for example, social content writing and articles, there are two, in my opinion, they are different. because in articles you have the specific requirements which you have to follow. Then it's more easier to be done because it's your expertise that you have in topics. One golden rule that I use for myself is, if I have a deadline to submit, for example, content for a specific client, I will do it earlier, because I will give it 1 week timeline in order to see what have I reached or what have I written. And in the end, I would like to say that, for example, everybody has their way of telling their stories. So you have always to have this mutual understanding with the client in order to emphasize what they want and how to do it. But in the end, you should never be deprived if you get rejections, or the client doesn't like the way of how you have written, because in the end it will be your own skills that you will develop by writing as much as possible and by understanding the client, what it needs.
Is it going to be harder to be a content writer, or is it going to be easier because we can use ChatGPT as a source of information as well?
Yes. Thank you for the question. I do agree that with the new technology that pop up can be a bit difficult for content writers, but it depends what kind of content writing you do. If you do, for example, for social media posts, it will help you in some cases, because everybody that is into writing will have the blog writing. So I think if we take a look at this new technology, I will be pro and against. In pro, I will be because it will help you, and against because it will take the job of many content writers. But for me personally, I think it's good, because as I mentioned before, I'm not only related in writing about social media posts, but I'm also in creativity writing. Creativity writing is something that human can do. I think artificial intelligence still will need work to do on that, because if they ask you to write a storyline or script, to be a script writer, it will be more difficult to ask artificial intelligence. So I think nowadays it can be looked at both sides.